A great namaste to all my friends, all the Buddhas here.
Namaste, Master.
Namaste. Everybody can unmute. Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Good morning, sir.
Very great morning.
Namaste.
Thank you
Namaste, sir.
for joining. Yes, sir. Namaste, sir. So wonderful to see you all today. Okay.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste, madam. Great, namaste. Okay, let's start the session. You can all go to mute. All right. Today is a very special day. Today we are doing Karma series as usual. But I would like to dedicate today's session to one of my friend who passed away. His name is Master Varahamurthy. He's one of the great pyramid master. He has dedicated his life to the entire PSS movement for many years. He has done so much of work to the society. And he has traveled to the higher worlds and he will be taking birth again. He has done so much of good karma. So his good karma has taken him to the higher worlds. And that good karma will again take him back to the earth planet. Thanks to my Guruji Brahmashi Pitamaha Patriji for always being accessible to me, guiding me in every way and supporting in whatever I do. Thank you very much, my dear masters and friends. Today we are going to learn about karma and reincarnation from one of the greatest masters who has lived in this earth planet, who has taught meditation to the masses. He is none other but Gautama Buddha. Buddha is not a person. Buddha means buddhi, intellect. We are going to learn from his quotes today, and I'll also share my experiences along with his quotes. Karma, as the word says, always remember, karma means action. Karma means not punishment. Karma means not anything which is negative. Law of action and reaction. Whatever you do comes to you, comes back to you tenfolds. Remember this every day. Whatever we do comes back. Before you do anything, you have the choice. But once you commit, there's no choice. You have to face it. If you don't have control on your senses, we tend to do many things. And finally, we land up into troubles. Law of karma is law of universe. Remember, there's no escape. There's no shortcuts. You have to face it. When you are aware of this, you will be more careful, much more careful. In every word you speak, in every act you do, and every thought you think. If you can control your emotions, you can control your words and actions. But only when you do meditation, you can control your mind. You may be poor, you may be rich, you may be a retired person, you may be an IAS, police officer, politician, whatever it is. But if you can't control your mind, then you are not a Buddha. We can control the fan, the light, by turning off the switch and turning on it. Similarly, the meditation will help you to find your own switch where you can switch off your mind, turn it on whenever you need. I always turn on my mind when I need and then I switch it off. This is what I have achieved in meditation, nothing else. How to switch off your mind? because it is like a motor. It is running for 50, 60, 70 years, even when you are sleeping. You must switch off your mind whenever you want. If you have achieved that, then you can call yourself enlightened. Otherwise, no. If you can control your emotions, then you can control your words and actions. And karma happens through three things: words, actions, thoughts. Only three things you should take care. There's nothing else. And that is three things are output. The thoughts go out, the words go out, the action goes out. Output, there are three things to take care. And when it comes to the input, again, others' thoughts, others' words, the seeing, eating, smelling, there are so many things that will go inside. With your awareness, without your awareness. Becoming Buddha is you have control on your life, on what is going in, what is coming out. If you don't have control, then you will get into karmic patterns, unfinished business, unfinished assignments. So you have to come back to finish it. Nobody will do your homework. In our schools, colleges, office, business, our work is our work. Nobody can replace us. Nobody can come and do your work. Similarly, if you have committed any karma, negative, bad, it is your responsibility to come back and cleanse it. And nobody is going to help you. People can only guide you. Ayappa is not here to help you. If somebody thinks I am helping you, I am sorry. Who am I to help you? Nobody needs your help. No, you don't need anybody's help. People need guidance, guide, coach. A school teacher teaches to all the students in the same tone, same energy. Only whoever picks, they excel. Whoever ignores, they always remain in the backseat. So it all depends on you. Krishna taught everything he knows to Arjuna, but immediately after all the teachings, when Arjuna heard that his son got died, he cried. Even when Sri Krishna himself directly gave the teachings, still the other person, if he doesn't intake, he will cry. Today morning, there was a Zoom session. As I told you, my friend, great master, Mr. Varahamurthy ji, yesterday he vacated this physical body. His karmic balance is over. A lot of people are coming and crying. When somebody is born, we don't cry. When somebody dies, we cry. Why? Because we lose communication with them. Second, we still think we are bodies. Whoever thinks that they are still the bodies, they cry. They feel bad. When you have realized that you are a soul, there is no crying. There's only happiness because the soul cannot die. Just like these cloths, you throw it and you put new cloths every day. Time and again, every day, you must learn to remember that you are a soul living in the physical body. Thereby, you detach with many unnecessary things. So you live a peaceful and happy life, purposeful life. Otherwise, these mind games, thinking you are a body and the other person is a body, will not allow you to sleep properly. Let us see what Buddha has said on karma. Be grateful, act with love, check your motives, watch your attitudes, forgive. 5 pointers. A very fantastic 5 pointers Buddha has given us today. Be grateful. Be grateful for what? Whatever you have. If you ask 10 people, 9 people would definitely say, I don't have this in my life. I don't have that in my life. People only speak about what they don't have. People never see or analyze what they already have. Be grateful that you have a body. You're living in these days and you are learning meditation and you are able to do your own works. Be grateful for whatever we have today, not for what we don't have. We designed this life exactly as how we want. Act with love. Love is not, this is not the love he is talking about. A girl having with another boy or a boy having with another girl. This is the universal love. Whether it is your son or neighbor's son or a stranger, if you can treat them equally, then that is called universal love. You only treat your family members well and see others as different, then there is no love. You're only acting. There's no purity in the heart. Check your motives, very important. When somebody meets me, somebody calls me, first thing I always see is what is the motive? Why they are attending the session? Why they are calling me? Why they are messaging? I will always check the motive. And when I perform a thought or a word or action, I check what is the motive. Why I am doing this karma series? Every Sunday, every Saturday, I'm sorry, every Saturday I come, I prepare, I pick some master. Why I am doing this? The motive is only simple. This is the way I learn. And when I am learning, many of you learn along with me. Only one motive, there is no hidden motives. Check your motives always, because sometimes we act without knowing, unconscious, without awareness. Watch your attitude, very, very, very important. Again, when you see yourself as a body, you will have a lot of ego, attitudes. When somebody is finding faults with you, if you have ego and if you have a lot of attitude, you will not even listen. Every day in my WhatsApp, in my YouTube comments, a lot of people comment positively, disastrously, negatively, nice words, bad words, but everything I see with a detachment. If there is a learning, I will take. If there is no learning, I ignore because my body, mind, soul doesn't need that. Let them speak whatever they want. They have the free will, but I have my free will to take what only is necessary. I have a very small cat in my office. Whatever the food, milk, whatever I keep, the cat chooses what to eat, what not to eat, and how much to eat, how much not to eat. It's a very small animal, yet to be developed very greatly into higher conscious. That animal knows what has to go in, what should not. But we humans has to be more careful. We keep hearing the words of others, others' thoughts, others' actions. Always, there's always surrounding us. If you lose your awareness, unnecessary things go in, then you lose peace of mind. Nothing should go in just like that. Nothing should store just like that. If somebody has found out some area of improvement, if somebody calls you and say, I found out few mistakes in you, always remember it is called area of improvements, AOI. There's no mistakes. We all come to the earth planet to grow. So we are not all perfectionists. We come here to learn and grow. Why do we go to school? Won't we make mistakes in school? Yes, we all do. That is how we grow. The school is a earth. Earth is a school. The one school we found is earth. Once we are here, this is a school. And here we experiment. We keep doing it again and again until we understand, until we pass. But if you have attitude, you must always check. You must watch your attitude. You must watch yourself as how you watch others. I always watch my actions, my thoughts, my words. That is how I improve every day. I improve every day because I am a close watch of mine. I watch my every word I speak, every action. Sometimes you observe how you are sitting. Right now, everybody, just observe how you are sitting. Don't move. Just observe how you are sitting. This body posture, your body automatically is sitting. There is some meaning in it. Everything teaches you. Your body works automatically. It is teaching you something. But if you don't observe, you don't learn. Observe, watch your attitude, and very importantly, forgive, forgive, forgive. If you don't have the attitude of forgiveness, act of forgiveness, take my words, you will never live with peace of mind. I always quote this example. Only once, a lady scolded me in front of all my friends. I had little anger on her. Way back in 2004. After 2 months, I inquired my friend, where is she? She's not seen nowadays in the meditation center. He said, a month ago, she passed away in a bus accident. That moment, that lady is not alive, but my anger is alive. What a fool am I? That moment I decided I am not going to hold anything about anybody. If unconsciously, if it gets in, I'll ensure it gets out of my system at any cost. Even if she has died, I am carrying that anger. Imagine what we are carrying. Our mind is not designed to carry anger. A knife is not designed to kill somebody. We can do best things out of it, worst thing out of it. The mind can store, doesn't mean that we store unnecessary things. Here, forgetting is impossible. You cannot forget anything. It may be deep in your subconscious. All our past lives, we still have in our subconscious mind. Conscious and subconscious, everything is there. Nothing get erased. But with every memory, if there is an emotion, that is where we suffer. With age growing, with knowledge growing, with the stages of life growing, at the age of 7, if somebody takes away one pencil from your hand, you are so angry. At the age of 70, if somebody takes something from you, will you have that same anger what you had in the age of 7? So what happened here? You got matured. Spiritually, if you are matured, you will not have any anger, anxieties, depressions, any attachments towards anybody. You live with everybody. Don't run away anywhere. You live with everybody. But only have memories, not emotions. Especially not anything which you don't like. Who likes to be angry always? Anger is a poison. It is going to kill you. Forgive. We cannot forget anybody or any incident. It is impossible. But if you forgive, you will live in peace. You will live in this moment. Whatever you are unable to forgive, those are the things will take you to your past, take you to the present. When you forgive situations, people, your mind will be in peace. Very important. No one see how much you do for them, they only see what you don't do. What a beautiful words by Buddha. No one sees how much you do for them. They will not see that. They will only see what you don't do. If you can understand this, then you will understand the entire human psychology. A mother or a wife cooks every day, takes care of the house and everything every day. But the husband and the children never see that. They only see what she cannot do and what she is not able to do. This is the world. This is how the humans work. When you try to do something to please others, it will never work because they will not see that. They will only see what you don't do. Fortunate are the people who can see what you do. This is not to blame anybody. This is to understand how others see. Such a beautiful words. If you understand this, you will not have any emotions. Every human being is the author of his own health or disease. Remember this. You are your own author of your health and disease. If you are healthy, it is because of you. If you have disease, it is because of you. Nobody holds responsibility. Nothing comes from genetics. I mean, your grandfather, father to you, nothing comes. It is because of you it is coming. You are the author of your health or disease. You create your own karma. With your improper words, actions, and thoughts, you have created hell for you or heaven. My friend who is around 35, 37, he's almost bedridden for last 1 month. And I called him every day to check up what is happening. And he said, I used to read a lot about health is wealth. Now I understand. Unless until he was bedridden, he never understood the value of health. He was ignoring. But the moment when he undergone that bitter experience of being in the bed, not able to do anything, the mind wants to do so many, the body doesn't cooperate. So who is responsible for your health? It is him. If you are born with some disease, it is from your past. Why will the creation curse you when you are born? You curse yourself, you bless yourself. When people call me and ask, sir, please bless me, I don't understand because I cannot bless anybody. I can only wish saying all the best. I'm not a Swamiji to bless. You cannot bless anybody. Your actions, your right words, your right thoughts will bless you. It comes as a blessing to you. It is depending on you, not on others. You cannot search from outside. If you have disease, it is because of your past life karma. You have to get rid of it by doing good deeds, by improvising your knowledge and doing a lot of meditation. I've seen thousands of cases where people with mild to major diseases, they meditate, heal themselves. First, they get out of a situation where surgery is not needed, and slowly they heal themselves completely. You have to firmly believe. When you have a firm belief, then you can go deeper inside. If you don't have beliefs, you shut your own doors. Nothing can happen. Another beautiful quote by Buddha: don't take revenge, let karma do all the work. Remember this, my friends. Don't take revenge. Let karma do all the work. Very important. Don't take any revenge. Why we take revenge? Because others have troubled you. People say, I don't get into anybody's problem, but somebody gives me problem, I will not leave them. Hook or crook, I am going to knock them out. It means you are not allowing the karma to act. He is performing something. Always remember one sutra which I always say, if somebody is creating problem to you, there are only two possibilities. Either he is creating new karma or he is paying back for your past karma. In both the cases, just leave from there or be silent and get out of there. Don't react. Let the karma take care. And karma will not happen immediately. Remember, it may happen now, tomorrow, after 100 years, or after 2000 years. But the karma will definitely hit back wherever you are there in the universe. Because it's the law of universe. You go to any dimension, any planet, any body, the karma is going to haunt you. This is your balance. You need to pay back. But if you react, if you get into that, then you are also part of that karma. This is the truth. This is the law. If you don't want to understand, it's okay. If you want to understand, it's okay. If you want to partially understand, it's okay. It all depends on you. I have spoken the truth. Whatever Buddha has said, don't take revenge. Who wants to take revenge? Your mind. How can you talk like that? How can you do like that? How can he cheat me? Then what you do? You find ways to hunt him down. If you have the knowledge of law of karma, then you simply say, happened is happened. I forgive him because I want peace of mind. If you plan to take revenge, until that happens, there is no peace of mind. Even if it happens, still you will not have peace of mind because your inner knows that you have done some act which is against the law of karma. It's the only formula to get peace of mind. That mind ko shant. Shanti, 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 he what? The body, the mind, and the soul. 3 shantis. Let the karma do all the work. You don't get. Who is asking you to take the revenge? You are a soul. Who is asking you to take the revenge? Your mind. The soul always said, let the karma take care. You keep quiet. Shant, Vishnu Shant. If you go and take revenge, you lose peace of mind. No king has peace of mind. No person who takes revenges will have peace of mind. Only person who decides consciously, I am not going to react, I am not going to take any revenge, he lives in peace of mind. He lives in the present. Otherwise, you always live in the future. When I should attack him? What opportunities I get, so that I will go and haunt him. Your peace of mind, you will not get, my friends. Meditate. And there is a small story Buddha said about time and karma. When a bird is alive, it eats ants. When the bird had died, ants eat it. One tree can be made into million matchsticks, but only one matchstick is needed to burn million trees. Circumstances can change at any time. You may be powerful today, but time is more powerful than you. So be good and do good. Very, very nice, humble, smooth, pleasant, highest truth. One matchstick is enough to burn the entire forest. That is true. The circumstances will always change, but the hasty decisions we take in urgency, we get into a lot of negative karma. We should not accumulate negative karma. We are here to, first of all, shed our unnecessary past karmas and do possible good karmas. Good actions and bad actions. If you don't understand the word karma, simply find and replace the word karma by actions. Good actions, good thoughts, good words. Because it is going to help you, my friend. It is not going to help others. It is going to help you first. Be good, do good. Simple. Otherwise, keep quiet. At least you are not accumulating anything. When you wish good for others, good things come back to you. This is the law of nature. So why you have to be good? Because you want more good. What you give comes back to you because that is law of nature. Whatever it is. If you release positive thoughts, great positivity comes into your life. If you speak positive words, you will hear a lot of positivity. If you do positive actions, a lot of positive things will happen in your life. We are trained to hear more negativity. We are trained to think more negatively. We are trained to speak more negatively. One of my uncles in my young age, whenever I laugh a lot, he will say, "Don't laugh a lot. Later you will cry a lot." I never understood that logic. I believed him for a few days or maybe few years. After my enlightenment, I can only laugh at him now. They control your laughter because they think that after a great laughter, great crying will come. What kind of logic is that? People with such prabuddhi means there's no buddhi. They speak whatever they want. They think that is truth. The truth must be spoken only when you know crystal clear. Whatever you know little, you speak about it. Don't exaggerate. No exaggerations. Only small things you speak about it. Wait for you to experience more and then you can speak a lot about it. Believe there is good in the world. Very important quote. The media, the people, everybody says a lot of negativity. We speak about that. So when we speak about negativity a lot, what comes back to us? What comes back to us? A wise person will find a tiniest light even in the dark room. A fool will find the dark spot in a bright room. So who are you, a wise person or a fool? What are you searching? What are you seeking? What is your intention? That will be shown. If you seek truth, if you seek light, if you seek happiness, if you seek wealth, if you seek prosperity, if you seek pure friendship, it will come to you. You must only seek that, and your thoughts, words, and action has to align only with that. You should not speak negatively about it. Yes, I want enlightenment, but I don't know whether I'll achieve in this lifetime. Gone. Your own positive thought is suppressed by your negative thought. They say when you meditate, you will heal completely, but I don't know whether it is possible. I have to give it a try. May or may not happen. With all this partial half mind, you will not achieve. If at all, every scientist, when they are working, if they start working with misbeliefs or disbeliefs, they will never invent anything. Whatever they do, one experiment, they will always have the highest 100% hope that it will get into a great invention. But when it doesn't happen, they draw the learnings from that. Okay, I did this, that's why it did not work. So they go into another experiment. Our life has to be like a scientific experiment. Then you will enjoy your life. Otherwise, your blame game on the curse will never allow you to peacefully eat, peacefully sleep, peacefully do any work. If you don't disturb yourself, remember, what a beautiful words. If you don't disturb yourself, like a broken gong doesn't vibrate. The gong, if it is broken, it will not vibrate. If it's a beautiful gong, when you strike, it will vibrate. then you have achieved nirvana. If you don't disturb yourself, you have achieved nirvana. Irritability no longer exists for you. People say, I'm unable to hear his words, I'm highly getting irritated. It means you have disturbed yourself. Gandhiji also said, nobody can disturb you without your permission. So who disturbed you? We always say, that fellow disturbed me, she disturbed me, his actions disturbed me. When I hear the news, I get disturbed. Who is allowing it? Let it come. Let it come near your aura. It should not get inside you. That is why you must meditate. When you have that control, then nothing goes inside you. As I told in the first point, nothing should penetrate into your aura without your permission. You must achieve that. Then that is called nirvana. Then there is no irritation in life. You like, you be there. You don't like, you peacefully live. That peace will never go outside your system. You get irritated. In that irritation, you do some karma. That will be negative karma, bad karma. It is going to harm you. Bad actions. You get irritated and somebody exactly at the time asks for something, you slap them or you hit them or you throw the papers. Who created that karma? And for that, you have to pay back for the balance. So you create your own reality, like Master Seth said. You create your own karma by your actions, words, and thoughts. If you have a lot of irritation in your life, it means you are disturbing yourself. But we always say the blame game on others, others are disturbing us. Nobody can disturb us. Only if you allow. If one is master of oneself, one is the resort one can depend on. Therefore, one should control oneself of all. What is that master of oneself? Here we call everybody like Buddha. Be a master. You have to be a master. Not become a master. You're already a master. You just be a master. If some school student is doing some naughty actions, the teacher says, hey, be a good boy. The teacher never says, become a good boy. We are all born Buddhas. We have to just be a Buddha. If you can master yourself, what should I master? Three things. Three things. Thoughts, words, and actions. You must master your five senses. Then the sixth sense will open. If you don't have control on your five senses, forget about sixth sense. Forget about third eye, astral traveling. People call me and they complain about others. I said, first of all, why did you listen to that? Don't you have control on this? Don't you have control on this? Why there are small lids here? Close it or leave from that place. Only if something goes in, it stores here, and then you think about it, you speak about it, and your belief systems, you similarly attract such things. There is no politics, everywhere there is. In a home, in your office, in the country, in the state. What is Mahabharata teaching you? Is there no politics? Mahabharata is full of politics. If you don't understand the game, you cannot play well. Spirituality also, there will be politics. Everywhere there will be politics. But if you know this truth, you will only witness, you will not judge. If you judge what happens, you will not have peace. If you don't have peace, every action you do, it will harm you and others, and you have to pay back for it. If you have peace, you will have buddhi to exactly do what is right or what is not wrong, what is good and what is not bad, what will harm you and others, what will not harm you others. You will have that control, self-control, buddhi. If somebody performs some actions or words, others will say, don't you have buddhi? Right actions, right words, right thoughts will help you If you don't disturb yourself, what a beautiful words. So far, we have only heard about from others, don't disturb me, don't disturb him, don't disturb that kid, don't disturb the program, don't disturb the law. We always see it outside, but we have never seen, don't disturb yourself. If somebody is irritated, next time you go and tell them, don't disturb yourself. And they will ask, what is that? Yes, you are disturbing yourself. We always say other person is disturbing. No, the other person is performing his karma, his actions. Why did you take it? If one is master of oneself, one is the resort you can depend on. I depend on me a lot because I can master all my senses. Who is very loyal to me? It is me. Who has perfect control on all his senses? It is me. So one should control because that is how one I can depend on myself. Buddha also said, it is better to spend one day contemplating birth and death of all the things. One day, you don't do any work. Keep looking to every person, every object around you. You will find one beautiful truth that there is something is born, something is dies. Over the period of time, it is better to spend one day contemplating, seeing deeply into the birth and death of all the things. Every 5 years, if you take any video or photograph of any event that happened in your life, you will definitely see some people now has died. Some people have vacated the body. My childhood, I used to do this exercise. Me and my dad. After every 2-3 years, we take the album of some event that happened in the past. And now we will identify this fellow died, he passed away, she passed away. And after a few years, if I take, the count will be more. So we do this exercise to tell the mind that everything that is born dies. You have to keep on telling so that you will have peace of mind. There is no fear. Everybody has fear of death. I don't have fear of death. A beautiful poet called Thiruvalluvar in Tamil, he says, death is like you going into sleep. Birth is like you waking up in the morning. Such a beautiful poet. Do you have any fear to sleep? The sleep comes, you automatically sleep. The death is the same. When you wake up in the morning, that's like a birth. Know well what holds you back and what moves you forward. What a beautiful quote. What holds you back and what moves you forward. You must know it well. Again, people say, I don't know, sir. I don't know, madam. You cannot say, I don't know. You can always say, I'm learning. Know well what holds you back. What holds me back? You want to do some action or you want to speak something. What holds you back? You must know it well. And you must also know what moves you forward. If I do this, I know I will perform more. I will improve a lot. I'll grow more in my life. I must know it. If I know it, I don't need to depend on others. Know well, sit and analyze. Take time to sit, my friends. What we do, whenever we get time, we immediately turn into mobiles, Netflix, Prime, T20 movies, cricket, or some unnecessary. Be with yourself. Meditation is a beautiful gift, allowing us to be with ourselves. How much time do you only sit with you? You will see your own thoughts, you will see your own patterns, you will see your own analysis. I have grown into a greater extent because I have spent most of the time whenever I am free with me. In my 2004 to 2012, I did so much of works and sadhanas. That 8 years I was with me a lot of time, alone, most of the times. That helped me to sit and contemplate. I used to observe everybody. I see people, I play with them, I walk with them, suddenly they die. Another person, another person, another person. The more experiences you get, the more enriched you are. You must know what is holding you back. Not doing. Age is not a barrier because we are not bodies. I'm so happy to see my dad and my uncle because they are into business. My uncle is 76, 77. My dad is 65. Still, they are going to the shop. They're working, working, working. Throughout their life, they are in the karma. In the other side, I see people in the name of retirement. They just sit in the house. They get bored. Their mind gets totally, in Hindi, we call it as a karab. The mind gets karab. Totally destroyed. I've seen one of my uncles who is very active when he was working. The moment he lost the job, and next he wanted to do something, the wife and the children said it will be a disrespect to the family if you go and work somewhere. So they made him sit in the house. He lost his health. He became tired. He became weak. The next time I saw him, is this the same person I met him? So when you are in action, when you are doing karma, always work, because here this is a school. You cannot go to the school and sit like a duck. What holds you back, you must know. What moves you forward also, you must know. Don't say, I don't know, I didn't know. No, you must know. It is your responsibility. Another beautiful quote. Silence the angry man with love. Silence the ill-natured man with kindness. Silence the miser with generosity. Silence the liar with the truth. I know a lot of people, my friends and my colleagues, they always lie to me a lot, but I always speak truth. That is how they become silent, because they know that they are speaking lies and they know I am speaking the truth. Whatever the thoughts, action, words we do, it should help the other person to grow, not harm. If you are doing that, then you grow. When you look at the nature supports, there's a great support system there. There's always good in the world, Buddha says. You are not looking into it. There's always good in the world. Happiness never decreases by being shared. If you share, the happiness is not going to decrease. My happiness grown into million times after I share my time and knowledge with everybody I see. It is up to them how much they take or don't take. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. What a beautiful quote. Pain is, you hit yourself, there's a pain. Yes, I can feel my pain. Yes, even now, there's slight pain, there's some irritation. I gave a big bang to my hand. The pain is reducing, almost reduced. There's still slight pain. Yeah, it has reduced. It's coming down, coming down, coming down. After 2 minutes, the pain will go. But whenever I remember that I had pain, that is called suffering. I hit myself, I had pain, it was almost gone. Then I should forget it. But every time you remember about this, then where is that pain? You're carrying the pain to the mind, and that is called suffering. Suffering is optional. Suffering is optional. I heard two cases. One guy got COVID, another guy got COVID. The one fellow said, I don't know, I got COVID. I never thought I will get. Every day I was looking into the news, who got COVID. Today I became the news. He is not happy, he is sad, he is restless. The other person, when he got COVID, he spoke to me, sir, you know, I got COVID. He said, I'm going to take good rest. Now I'm going to meditate a lot. I am going to experience what it's going to be like that. Both the people, there's pain. But one guy decided to suffer more. One guy said, suffering is optional, I'm not going to suffer. You see, what is the difference? Both are human bodies, both got COVID, both had pain, but one guy suffered, one guy did not suffer. So suffering is optional. Suffering is optional, pain is inevitable. So bear the pain. Nobody say bear the suffering. In English, nobody say bear the suffering. You suffer because of your ignorance. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. Consciously and unconsciously. We are the creators of our own bodies, own life. We even think there and we think here, before and after the birth. So end result is what you want, you get it. So whenever, before you think twice what you exactly want. Once you think, then you should never think about it. You must share what you have, my friends. Now, you are not going to lose anything. Buddha says this beautiful quote, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle. And the life of the candle will not be shortened by doing this act. Happiness never decreased by being shared. Share. What's your problem? Why don't you share? Food, time, money, energy. By sharing, you get more. This is the truth. Every enlightened person, every millionaire knows. Every Buddha knows, every CEO knows. The person who don't know this, they are in the process. Every Buddha knows, every CEO knows, every entrepreneur knows, successful. That happiness never decreases by being shared. And what you give tenfold, it comes back. Both formerly, none now. It is only suffering that I describe as the cessation of suffering. No suffering. See, when you help someone, the law of nature cannot keep quiet. It has to give it back. It will find ways to bring people and give you help. It has to, because it is law. So you are creating such a beautiful situation for you. You are helping others. So what am I doing in the session? I'm giving knowledge. I'm motivating people to do meditation. At least one person in my session, at least one point, if they intake, and they start living a better quality life. The law of karma will give more better quality of life to me. The law of karma has to give, there's no choice for it. So who is creating this reality? It is me. Why we don't go and perform something which is highest? Because of fear. We are very good listeners. From the school, childhood, we are made to sit in the bench, stools. They continuously speak and we listen. We are very good listeners. But when I ask people to speak, they are angry. When I ask people to listen, they are very happy. The whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Never fear what will become of you. Depend on no one. Never fear what will become of you. What will happen? Never have fear. Depend on no one. Here we call it as be a Buddha. Be a very, very independent person, independent master. You can always take support from others, but the moment you think, what will happen if you are not there? What will happen to me if I'm depending on you? If you see any dependence on your life, it means you are called a slave. Without them, you're suffering. So your happiness is depending on other person. So what you must do when it is there, when the dependency is there, you must become independent. Only the moment you reject all help are you free. I don't know how to cook way back in 2003 too. but I need good food. So I started learning how to cook. So when I make good food, my dad always say, Thoda, little at least keep it aside for me. He used to wait for it. So my joy, my dad also started enjoying. There are many people around me not happy because I entered the kitchen. Later, I came back from Chennai to Bangalore. So for 4 months, I was a bachelor. Since I know cooking, I survived. Because I have to always go out and eat otherwise. And when I went to Germany for 1 month, God damn, I don't know what language is that. I don't know to read. Those days we didn't have mobile, internet to search what ingredients they put. Even in the bakery, 80% is non-veg. I don't know. Such a worst place, but I have to survive there. So only because I was not depending on somebody will cook and serve me, I didn't have that fear. So I cooked all the food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Of course, no snacks. So these three things, I took care of myself. So there was no suffering. I had extreme joy because I was not depending on anybody for anything. For all my duties, because I was alone there. I took care of my own body, my food, my clothes, because I was never been to any hostel in my life. Entire school, college, I was at home. So for such a person, suddenly you are thrown into an outside world. I did not suffer because I prepared myself when everything was around me. When all your family members are with you, you must be prepared for your death and everybody's death. So when it really happens, you will not suffer. There is no shock for me. Because I become prepared. I prepare for everything. They prepare for the best and prepare for the worst. And where is that preparation? It is in the mind. This body is a tool controlled by the mind. But if you have the buddhi, a buddhi will control the mind. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do in harmony. What you think, speak, actions. If it is in a harmony, you are happy. This is like a three pipes, everything aligned. When you have something here, when you speak something, when you do something, there's a disharmony in your entire system. Then what happens? Every time you do that, you become conscious. You know that you are lying. You know that you are speaking untruth. You know you are harming others. Whether the other person knows or no depends on their intelligence. But you are harming yourself. And what happens? At the end result, you are not happy. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Very important. You know, there's one person in my life who I love a lot is me. I give a lot of love and affection to me first. So I don't need to depend on others. You see, the whole world is depressed. There are few nations where they seek love and affection from outside. Why can't you give to yourself? Have you ever thought about it? Why we always seek from outside? Spirituality starts from seeking inside truth, knowledge, energy, love, and what you deserve. If there is no spirituality, you always seek outside. You're searching for God, you're searching for money, you're searching for good people, you're searching for friends. Always the search is outside. That's a never ending search. There's a difference of opinions. I am very happy with me. I love myself more than anybody. I spend good time with me. Then what happens? Entire universe is inside me. Additionally, if I'm outside also, I get it's an addition to me, but I'm not depending there. Think on this. Sit and think on this. Why do we need anything from outside? Why we are not seeking from inside? With our thoughts, we make the world. You create your own reality. With your thoughts, you make the world. Which world? Visible world, invisible world. Who is the creator? You are the creator. And how do you create? With your thoughts. You can keep hiding as long as you can. But Buddha says there are three things you cannot hide for long: sun, moon, and truth. If you think you can hide the truth, then you are fooling yourself, because you cannot hide the sun and the moon. Yes, the sun gets hidden with few clouds. It's cloudy. The moon gets hidden because of the cloud, but it's not always. It will reveal. Truth will reveal. There are many, many, many cases I've read in so many books. At the deathbed, people realize. At the deathbed, the moments of the death, they come to know the truth. Why not when you are happy, healthy, when everything is around you? Why you don't understand now? All that you need to do is give little time to you. How? Meditate. Clear the clouds, unnecessary things. Then you know who you are. You can start living a better life. If you have peace of mind, you perform great good karmas, and that is going to reap. What you sow, so you reap. For when you are sowing, when you are cooking food, your mind should be at most peaceful. You should not think about anything. There should not, nothing goes here, no revenge, no harm. Then that vibrations will go into the food, and the entire family suffers. And that suffering will come back to you in tenfold times. So cooking is not just a duty or action, it is the highest responsibility. Whether the wife cooks, husband cooks, doesn't matter. Who cooks matter. And when they cook, and what state of mind they are in matters a lot. Very important. Holding on the anger. In your head, where do we hold anger? Emotional body, the second body. That is where all the etheric patches are there. So holding on to your anger is like drinking poison and expect the other person to die. Express it or forgive. By expressing it or by forgiving, you are dissolving it. Otherwise, you are holding it. Don't hold. The more you hold, you have something out, you are holding it, it goes back, then you get a lot of diseases. Happiness doesn't depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Don't know on the outside. It's not spirituality, you're always outside. From outside, you want happiness, you are depending. No dependency. In a day, live alone. You should be able to do everything. Last week, I was in my office all alone. No working staff. Nobody is there. I was able to do everything from tip to top bottom. I cleaned the office. I cleaned the bathrooms. I packed everything. I shipped everything. I took care of the label. Everything I was able to do without suffering. Yes, you will always seek help. If there is more help, I'll be less burdened. But it doesn't mean you should suffer. If you're suffering, it means you are depending. Situations, the life gives you beautiful situations to show you if there is no help which you are getting all these years, and if there is no person who are with you for many, many years, suddenly they are not there. If you are suffering, it means there's a greater dependency. Contemplate, sit and contemplate. Just imagine, see from your life what is there, what is not there, what you really want, what you don't want, what is holding you, what is pushing you, what is helping you. If you are depending on others for happiness, my friends, then you are always depending on outside. What if the person dies? What if the person chooses not to make you happy, or the person leaves? Admire yourself, love yourself, be happy. Buddha always says, The fool who asks questions is wiser than the wise man who doesn't answer them. Ask. Who is stopping you? Fear again. If something you are not able to do because of fear, it means you are not wise. People ask questions because they don't have questions, because they want to ask questions. Whatever it is, at least they are opening their mouth. And they are wise. By asking questions, you are clearing your mind. Remember this. Something you are holding here, you are throwing it out. If you find a wise person, a great guru, or a friend, if you have a question, ask it. If it is the right question, great knowledge channels. If it is a wrong question, great anger channels. But finally, something goes out and something comes in. There is a give and take, yin and yang. But holding will not help you. People tell me, for many years I had this question, now I am letting. Who asked you why you are not letting it out? Why you are carrying it for many years? By telling everything, all your problems, all your emotions to others, you feel less burden. Why? Because you have emptied your mind. But also you polluted others' mind. The other person was peaceful. So you met, you transferred all your problems into their head. So what is the solution? You should not, first of all, allow the external circumstances of your life to get inside you. As I said, there are two cases where one person suffering, another person not suffering, but both were experiencing pain in the COVID. In my family, nobody supports me. In my family, everybody haunts me. My family, if I keep on scolding them, keep on doing the blame game on others. When I meditated, people used to knock the door. People used to turn on the light, turn off the light. They come and lecture me why you are meditating for 1 hour, 2 hours. But that did not stop me. I am never angry on them because they gave me the real test. When Buddha sat, you go to the internet and search. There were people coming and trying to seduce him. There were snakes, there were rain, there were poison, everything tried to disturb him during meditation. But he was not affected because he chose, he wantedly that outside circumstances should not affect his inner. It is your choice because your mind has gateway, it has allowed you. Your mind has allowed you. You consciously make the decision to suffer and we always blame others. Because of others, I am suffering. Because of them, I am unhealthy. Because of my partner cheated, so I am poor. They are life lessons. Where did your awareness go? Where did your intelligence go? Why did you blindly believe? Dependency. Break the dependency. An engineer finish engineering and he will only look for engineer jobs. Why? And he said, I am not getting job for 3 years, 4 years. Are you a fool? The world is full of opportunities. Open your eye. Go get into something. You will always, the doors are open. You only choose one door to be open and you suffer. I was a fool. I suffered initially. That is why the moment I opened the door, opened my eyes, okay, whatever it is, I'll come and do. A lot of doors opened for me. As long as this body exists, you must always perform some karma. If somebody speaks about a retirement, I am the first person to laugh loudly, inside and outside. People ask me, what is the purpose of life? As long as you are breathing, there's always some purpose. The moment your breath is gone, the purpose is gone. My friend Varahamurthy passed away yesterday. His purpose was over. My purpose is there. Many more years, so I'll be here. I'll be performing. And once my purpose is over, I'll say bye-bye, I will leave. Very simple. I'll be born again here or anywhere. That is next chapter. I won't even think about it. When you are sitting in a movie, will you think about what movie I will see next Friday? No, you will just enjoy. So here we are enjoying our show. What is stopping us? What is helping us? You need to identify. Buddha is never a person. Remember, the moment I say be a Buddha, people ask me, are you a Buddhist? I said, it is nothing to do with any religion. It is to do with your buddhi, your intellect. Thank you, my dear friends. It's a great learning from Buddha. It's a great inspiration. You see, the truth which he spoke 2500 years ago, still the truth is truth. It never changes. Any quote you take, it is only our understanding changes over the time. Truth always stay. What else a beautiful proof? Every sloka of Bhagavad Gita, the truth always stay. Every word of the wise man who is born in the earth planet, their words are truth. And that truth will help us to do more good karmas. That truth will help us to get rid of all our bad deeds and bad karmas. It will help us to enlighten. So those words and those knowledge becomes fundamentals for us. But we need to build our own temples. We need to enlighten ourselves. Thank you very much. It's a great day today. I'll open the forum now for more questions. Whoever has questions, you can ask. Don't don't have any fear. If the fear is stopping you, go ahead and press the button. Face the fear. Anywhere, if anybody has slightest fear, even if you don't have questions, no problem. Just say hi and leave. But come. If you have fear, definitely raise your hand. If you don't have fear, then you can think. Okay. I don't know who is that. 5270078. Come on. Can you please unmute and talk? Turn on the video if possible. I don't know the name. Kamanchi Akshara. Can you please unmute? Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, talk.
Good morning, sir.
Very
Good
great,
morning, sir.
great morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, it's a wonderful speech, sir, regarding Buddha. I am so inspired, and it's very lesson to take everyone your good words, and they should learn more and more from your words. We should implement in our life, daily life. Death is not a so end of the Atma. It is reborning every time. I have learned so much good memories from your words, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Very nice, madam.
Thank you.
Very happy you came and spoke.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Tilaji.
Good morning, Master.
Great morning. Tell me, madam.
I had two questions. Okay, one is when you are passing judgment or judging others, what does it say about you?
See, judgments, it means you are not seeing truth as it is. It means you are judging something, you are putting a full stop. That's it. For example, if some person do some words or actions, you're judging, say he's a bad person. And then you are putting a stamp on it. Later, you will not see what is the other dimension. You will not see the circumstances. Later, even if he changes, you will not be able to see. Judgments is like you put a full stop. Okay, but if you are just an observer, okay, you are wise. Today he performed or he did like this. Let me see. Because you will never know about yourself until some circumstances come in your life. For example, there's a lot of great meditators all here. Yesterday, when the great master Varamurthy passed away, Today in morning Zoom sessions, everybody is crying. When I came to know about the news that he passed away, I was happy. I closed my eyes, I meditated, I saw him happily leaving. He said, I'll be born again. He'll be born. Why he will not be born? So when this circumstance came, I saw hundreds of people crying. Then what truth you have learned all these days? If you have not learned any truth, in all the sessions we speak, I am a soul, you are a soul. But if somebody dies, you cry. There is a total misalignment. I'm not blaming them. They have to sit and contemplate, why did the tears come out? It means still deep inside, they are thinking their bodies. That's why they cried. Everybody, even the anchor cried. What should I say? It is an example for them. They have to sit and contemplate, saying, why did they had dukkha? One lady is coming, she's talking in dukkha, everybody cried. Because they have not yet experienced that they are souls, but they know the truth that we are all souls. That experience is not there. So you must ask the nature to give me every support system so that I can experience that I am a soul. Experience is important. Okay, today they cried. It doesn't mean I need to judge them. Remember, tomorrow they will later transform. So today, if I see he's a fool, he's crying, if I judge, then it's problem for me because tomorrow he will change. That is why no judgments. The only person who can judge is the High Court judge. Nobody else can judge.
Thank you, Master. The other question is, a friend of mine met with an accident. He's a 13-year-old boy. And so what kind of pyramid product can I recommend to him?
The small people, they are beautiful in their minds. Okay, the mind is just developing. They are purer. Okay, they just need a pyramid hat. Nothing else is needed for them. The more you grow, the more rotten your mind, the more dirty your mind, the more impure. Then you need more pyramids, more crystals, more support system, more music, more energy to cleanse. But young people are like buds. They just need one simple plastic pyramid. Cap is enough, copper or plastic. That will help them to be like that throughout their lives. Nothing else they need.
Thank you, Master.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for asking such a beautiful questions. Okay, a lot of people raising your hands today. Durga Prasad sir. Namaste, sir.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
I am not knowing that much of English, sir. I am from Canada only.
You speak in Kannada, sir. No problem.
Sir, beautiful, sir. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಠ ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಎಂತ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವರ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಹ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂತ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇಂತೊಂದು ಅಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ನೀವೊಂದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದೇ ವಾರಾಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ದುಃಖ ಪಡ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ವಿಷಯ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಹಾಕಿ ಸರ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಠ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿದಷ್ಟೇ 1-2 ತಿಂಗಳು ನಮ್ಮವ್ರ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನೇ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು ಅವರ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡುದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ತುಂಬಾ ಅನುಭವ ಬಂತು ಸರ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್
Thank you, sir. Very nice of him. Yes, Anuradha madam.
Good morning, Ayappa.
Namaste, madam. Yes, madam.
Ayappa.
Yeah, your voice is so low.
Oh, okay. I'll put my earphones.
I'm so happy after I said everybody raise hand. So many people have raised hand today. No fear.
This thing, as you said, morning, yesterday night when I heard about Parahamurthi's, of course, I also know him very well. I had done 3-4 vegetarian rallies with him and he had come home.
Yeah.
But I don't know, as you said, one smile came on my face when I heard that. No, really, one smile came on my
That
face.
is your enlightenment.
And, yeah, I immediately, I closed my eyes and I gave him a hearty farewell.
That's it.
That's all. So then, so that's it. And one more thing, Ayappa, today in my session, today in your session now,
Mhm.
I was feeling so uncomfortable. I don't know, because the only reason I was trying my best to be in my full consciousness. Really, I don't know. I was moving myself this side. I was controlling myself that this today, at any cost, I should not go into trance. Something I was putting my one leg down, putting one leg this thing in between for 2-3 minutes. I was going off again. I pulled myself back. Then if you something is going on in me, but I was feeling very uncomfortable because I was acting, to be very frank, that I'm awake. I should be awake. I should sit and listen and not to go off into my trance. But it was very uncomfortable experience.
Yeah.
But anyway, I succeeded that I didn't close my eyes today.
It's a different experience, that's it.
Yeah, that's all this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ayappa. Everything
Thank
is
you.
fine. Everything is going on well.
Perfect, madam. Great. Thank you. Very nice. See, when somebody dies, when you hear that news, if you are unable to smile, then you are not a Buddha. Simple. If you are crying, it still means there's a lot of scope for improvement. Yes, Surender, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir. Yes, sir.
So first, I want to say, every day I used to attend morning Zoom sessions, sir.
Yeah.
Today alone, I haven't joined. I came to know at 8 o'clock that Ramurthy sir has left the body. I
Yeah.
got the call from Muthurat sir. Immediately, as soon as I get this message, I said he has completed his thing, what he has to do in the Karnataka. He has an enormous job, and he has got something to do in higher worlds, and he has left the body, and now he has given us, he made the masters like us already to take it forward. So he has given the charge. This is what I communicated. It has come like that only.
Yes.
So he said, sir, you are already expanded. You are not even showing any thing. It just came just like that. That shows that where I am connected now, that oneness, sir. So that ego is not dominating me. So all that I am under awareness. So
Perfect.
So that's what the first I wanted to share this.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I am actually lot of expansion I am seeing on the wisdom part on me, a lot of expansion on my consciousness, and a lot of expansion in energy and all. So why I am experiencing all these things? Because I'm in action. I'm doing meditation 3 to 4 hours now, and I'm teaching lessons, meditation classes, and I'm sharing it. I'm reading the books. That's all. Nothing. It is only. Finally, what I learned is go inside. That's all. For any problem, go inside. Earlier, I was telling why to go inside, why to go inside. Now I realized when I go inside, I am connecting to the entire universe. It's not that going inside of me. It is going. I'm connecting to the Mahashunya. So where I get that what is required. So this is what I'm experiencing it. And I get the whatever I want. And this situation, everybody is fearing. For me, I'm feeling it's a good opportunity. For me, whatever I'm learning all these days, last 1 year, is a good opportunity to experience. And that fear is still there, or I'm still ignorant Surendra Kumar or enlightened Surendra Kumar to test. So that is what I want to share. So Corona is also one of the consciousness, and it's also teaching us something time, and it is created by us only. It is created by us only. It's not somebody is created. Universe means I am the universe, I am the nature. So it's all created by us. So performing is done by Corona. That's all. So we have to take it Corona into our hearts, take it and see what we can elevate ourselves as a soul, and then fulfill our purpose of life. So that's how I have taken, sir. Earlier, I have a fear. 1 year back, ignorance, Surendra Kumar, Corona means I don't go out and I got a fear. Now, everybody is locked in our apartment. I open and go for a walk and see, well, let's see what happens. So I want to experience.
Previously, you had fear of Corona. Now, if the Corona comes, we'll say join the Zoom session.
Yes, sir. You are correctly you said. So
fear should go away. That is very important, and you don't have fear. That is more important. Fear will unnecessarily invite a lot of lower forces. Yes.
So I'm enjoying, sir, really, and these sessions, that your sessions, and a lot of the pyramid masters, whoever in Telugu, English, everywhere, sir. If I get opportunity, I attend like a student. Nothing. Completely I melted, sir. Now what I did know, I have learned from ant, I learned from book, I learned from chair, I learned from everybody. I learned from. Now you said one cat. I noted down that. So important. That cat is able to analyze what to eat, what not to eat.
And if it is not hungry, it will not eat. Humans, we eat even when we are hungry or don't hungry.
We have so much intelligence, but we don't use that.
Yeah,
so they're all got trapped in this. So the mastering of the mind is the matter. The 5 senses, if you control, your 6th sense will get opened and all that. So today, many things I learned, sir. I'm declaring that I will continue to this live every moment.
Yes. Whatever you firmly believe, that will happen. That's all.
Yes, with the true self.
Thank you, sir. So nice of you. Namaste. So he learns from every session, Surendra sir, and he goes and teach to everybody. And that is how he learned more deeper. Rajendra sir, cheerful, very cheerful face. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Observing your entire session, your cheerness gave me a lot of energy.
Yeah, basically, sir, when you told that why we shed tears when somebody dies, and the fact remains, in my life also, when my mother expired and father expired, my wife expired, I never shed tears, and I don't know because others were shedding tears, and I was always trying to find within myself that why I don't feel like that and all. Once we started understanding the spirituality and all, then I thought that yes, because I always felt that this is just like a train journey, and some co-passengers are coming and joining us, and when their destination reaches before our destination, they get down. So we should not hold their hand and ask them not to go, because we should allow them to go cheerfully, and we should say them bye-bye. So when you say this, then naturally I was also feeling this inside. That is, I have that kind of feeling inside from the beginning, before I started understanding the spirituality and all.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It reminds me of one incident that happened in my life. When I was 12 years, my aunt died in my house. We were a joint family way back then. Everybody is crying except me.
Yes.
What happens if everybody cries and you don't cry?
Yes.
You become a victim. But still,
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I didn't even act to cry, because I didn't see the death as something we lost.
Yes.
Someone. It is a journey, as you have perfect understanding. Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
That time also, I didn't find any reason to cry.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice experiences. Okay, Krishna ji, can unmute and talk.
Yeah, Namaste, Master.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. I 100% agree with you, whatever you are saying, karma incarnation. I always tell everybody, karma incarnation, watch Ayyappa Pindi sir sessions. I told many people. But recently I heard about Ramta Vijnan. You also know about Ramta Vijnan. I think you also know about that one. Here, my question is, they are saying no karma, but we are following karma. How we differentiate these two? I didn't understand. Actually, I have a question about that.
I think you asked the same question last week.
No, sir. This is the first time.
Somebody asked me. It's okay. See, When I go to Buddha, I learn. When I go to Jesus, I learn. When I listen to Osho, I learn. When I go to Ramta, I learn. When I go to Lao Tzu, I learn. From Shuangshu, I learn. From Zoroaster, I learn. I keep learning. What I understand, certain things, automatically I transform. If I don't understand certain things, I will keep it aside. When my level of enlightenment energy increases, I will understand that.
Okay, got it,
If
sir.
you have any confusion, don't get more confused. Keep it aside. One day you will understand.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. Very
Yeah,
simple. What I
I
understand, you take. What you don't understand, you take it later. Wait for it. See, certain experiences I got, after 10 years, I got clarity.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. I got that clarity.
Yes.
By birth onwards, actually, I am trust this karma. Suddenly, I heard about that one.
That's okay. It is his point of view.
Okay.
It is Buddha's point of view. It is Ramta's point of view. By taking both, you will get your point of view.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah, I got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nice. Nice questions. Okay. Madhaviji.
Master, am I audible?
Loud and clear.
Master, thank you so much. Thank you so much for a wonderful session, Master. This normally happens at our home. Like, we do 99%, and the 1% that I didn't do, it is normally noticed by all. And I also keep fighting that I do 99% and nobody says a word about that. And the 1% that I missed to do, there's a big fuss running on that 1% thing. Here in this case, I'm reacting to it, right? How do I respond to it?
Nothing. You have to increase your level of energy and enlightenment. So you don't react. For anything, if you are reacting, it means inside you have got irritation.
Yeah, I'm getting into the cycle. I understand that I'm getting irritated and I'm getting into the cycle. What I shouldn't do. Okay.
See,
now
previously you don't know that you are getting into the cycle. Now you know you are getting into the cycle. Tomorrow you'll get out of the cycle.
Thank you so much, Master. Thank you so much.
Stage by stage. Yes.
Thank you so much, Master.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so Sneha ji, unmute. Sneha Sharma ji, you there?
Yes.
Hi. Tell me.
Hi. Actually, every time whenever I come to your sessions, I just think, what is the learning today for me? Every time. And I am so with open eyes, I am there. And so much I get. Like in last session, when every time I try to implement whatever learnings I get. And yeah, so I am very scared of so many things, especially emotions. So recently, I just because even just now, like today in today's session, you said that just let go of fear and go beyond beyond fear. Only then you'll know. So that I actually practice and got a real clarity of what things you said. So I'm just very much thankful for the session. Like I share it with everyone, and it's awesome. The same thing like you said today that about body and mind, everybody is like so much excited for this topic. I guess everybody wants to share, and it was very nice. And every day you come up with superb sessions. Thank you so much.
Good.
Yeah, I just don't. I was prepared. I had a meeting at 11. I was preparing, but still I was listening, and whatever I just wished right every point you tell. So thank you so much.
Very nice, Nehaji. You went back to your hometown?
Yes.
Very nice. Happy stay. Thank you. See you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Vijendra Rao sir, can unmute and talk. Possible video.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
For the past 76 of my life, I have absolutely no idea about meditation, about anything concerned with what you have been talking.
Yeah.
I have been just listening to your talks for the past probably 3-4 days, and I've also spoken to you, I think 2-3 days back.
Yes, sir.
Now, the only reason I don't know how suddenly all this came into me, because I have no idea about it. I read one book about the laws of some book was written by some lady who had passed, whose 2 sons had passed away. After reading that book, suddenly your video came into when I was seeing YouTube. I don't know whether it was a coincidence or what. Now suddenly all my energy is being put to about meditation. I am. It is a subject where I had absolutely no idea. And my life is going to change totally 180 degrees because of the videos I have seen of yours.
Very
and today's was really inspiring to me. And now I am going to change my life totally towards meditation, which I have never done in my life. Last 3 days back, I started meditation, but it is very difficult for a person like me to start at this age. But still, I am trying. I thank you very much for what you have done.
Very nice, sir. You have taken a good step, and age doesn't matter. You have decided to start, and you will always get the support, and all the best, sir. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Banuji. Banuji, please unmute and talk.
Hello.
Yes.
Morning, sir.
Great morning. Tell me, ma'am.
I'm again very happy to talk with you, sir.
Tell me.
I got so much guts to talk with you nowadays.
Yeah, you need to. I'm very happy you have taken the first step.
Sir, one thing I want to clarify with you. Yesterday I had a question, who am I? And then my mindset, and I went for the meditation. I got the answer also. But the answer was written in the board with the different choices, but I am unable to see the board clearly. That too, the board was sold by Patri sir only. Very blur face of Patri sir, and as well as the board. What can I even morning I tried, evening and night time I tried, afternoon I tried. I see the board, but I can't see the words and lines. Which was written on the board? What to do and what steps I have to do in this? Let me.
You don't need to do anything. When you get an experience, you watch. Later you will get clarity. Okay, don't analyze.
Fully blur, but but I can see the letters. This pink chalk piece, yellow chalk piece, everything was seen, but unable to read what was in the board. I tried many times, but I couldn't.
No problem. Keep watching every day.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That I'm doing.
Very nice, ma'am. Thank you.
Session was good, sir. Session was good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Finally, Suganji. Namaste. You've been trying to call me for last 1 week. Unmute and talk.
Yes, master. I have been. Yes, master. And namaste. As usual, very beautiful session. Death should not be feared. But master, what I wanted to ask is, what about our, there are certain spiritual experiences which can basically be controlled. Certain spiritual experiences cannot be controlled. Like, our astral traveling or certain, how do we know if we have got some, somebody is trying to form some karmic bonds with us? How do we control those things? That is something very distressing. And also, as we grow spiritually, sometimes the spiritual attacks will be more in certain cases. So how do we overcome that? How do we save ourselves?
See, as long as you stick with your dharma, as long as you see everybody and every situation as a learning, you will not have attachment with anybody. The attachment starts in the mind. The controlling starts in the mind. Okay.
Yes, sir.
When somebody is speaking, if they speak unnecessary things, then I should control only here. And what I should control, what I should not control, it happens over the time. The more enlightened you are, the more gyan you have, then you will have control. Otherwise, you let everything inside, and there's only confusion.
Okay.
Suppose your life is full of confusion, it means you are having friendship with the people who are at the lower level than you. If your life is full of clarity, it means you have friendship with someone who is higher than you. So what you must do, you must seek for friends who are in a very good level, highly spiritual. And whatever they speak, whatever the knowledge they use, if it is giving you clarity, it means they are much more enlightened than you. If there is confusion, gone. There is only confusion. They are still growing. They are transferring their confusion. So you must be wise. Whom you should talk, whom you should not talk. What you should take, what you should not take. You must be aware.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it happens over the time. It happens over the time.
Okay. Okay. But okay, sir. I wanted to ask one more question, but maybe I'll ask you over the call. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. No problem. Okay, Ravi ji. Maybe this is the final question. Ravi ji, please unmute. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Very great session today. Really wonderful. Very clear is that we should not get disturbed with the words of the others.
Yes.
That is really very important. But now in the home itself, when the people, one is asking for one thing and others is contradicting, then how can we
watch the drama?
Drama. Right. Actually, I have now my own brother is there. He's having the marriage at hometown next month, May 28th. And right now I am in the Mumbai. So this is the situation is outside going, and some my mother is talking that whether you, if you are able, you come, otherwise not. My brother is saying if you can't come, how can? And my missus, everybody is in a disturbed state. But if I am thinking that if I dare and if I go, if they are unable to face the fear and they get disturbed, how can we take a step in this?
Like Buddha said, people will only see what you didn't do. People will never see what you did. Okay. If you don't go to the marriage, they will only see that. Whatever you have done all this lifetime, they will not see. This is the normal human being. What you want to do, what you feel from inner, you do. Don't do it for others. Okay. Because what happens is there is a contradiction. Suppose the law is strict now. You don't want to go. Because of the force, if you go, there is a lot of misalignment inside you.
Right, right. Master.
Then you will suffer. Whether you go or don't go, they will always suffer. It is their choice. See, they have rights on their body, but they should not have rights on you. What rights they have on you? They can request if they feel bad. See, this is an emotional drama. If I am you, I will say, Baba, I will watch in Zoom or YouTube and I'll put all the blessings from here. I'll be happy here. If I am you, I would have done that. What you want to do, you do. But you take the decision, later you should not think about it.
Okay.
Whatever decision you take, you have only two choices, either going or not going. Decide.
Not
Decide. Once you decide, there's no more discussions on that.
Okay.
No discussions outside, no discussions inside.
Inside also, right.
That's it. Then you are in peace. That's all.
Right, Master.
Thank you, Ravi. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Master.
Very nice. Okay. So, thank you very much, my dear friends and masters, Buddhas and gods. I'm very happy, and it's again a great opportunity came in my life. My friend Varamurthy ji passed away yesterday. So this situation again gave me a test whether I'm having any emotions towards him, or am I looking at him as a soul. It gave me another opportunity. He is happy. He'll be born again. People who are ignorant are crying. So he gave me another opportunity to check myself today. Thank you very much. This Karma series is going well. I am learning along with you. I am also a student like all of you. Whatever I am learning, when I share, I get much more clarity. When I am learning, all of you are learning with me. So let us learn together. Let us grow together. This is the only way we can help others to have no fear. Today, I said, have no fear. A lot of people spoke. This is what we want. That small percentage of fear goes, your consciousness increases, your energy vibrations increases. I'm very happy today, at least 10 or 15 people spoke, and this fear should get out of our systems permanently. Thank you very much. Again, we will connect next week with a new topic. I'll post this video very soon in YouTube. Have a great life and have a great spiritual life. Thank you, thank you, thank you.